Welcome, everyone. My name is Sarah. I am from SMA's Community Support Department. We're so glad to have you join us for our very first virtual resource fair. We also want to thank our presenting sponsor, Genentech, for making this program possible. I have two important housekeeping items before we get started. First, if you'd like to change your view settings so the attendee videos don't cover any part of your screen, you can click the view button on the top right-hand corner of your screen and select side-by-side speaker view. Second, please note that all attendees will remain muted during this webinar. And if you have any feedback or questions, you can submit them through the chat box in your toolbar. Just select SMA as the recipient, that's me, to ensure that your questions get to the right staff member. If you have any additional questions after today's presentation, you can contact the community support team, communitysupport@SMA.org. I would now like to welcome our presenter, Danny Sun. Danny is very active in the SMA community, being a mother of 2 children with SMA, and she is also the Senior Manager of Social Work with SMA's Community Support Department. She will be guiding us through SMA's many resources tonight. So I'm turning it over to you, Danny.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Hello, everyone. I am grateful that you all are spending your evening with us to learn more about resources and programs available to you and others in the SMA community. To start, I would love to introduce everyone to our community support team. So our team connects with all members of the community and is the initial primary point of contact for all newly diagnosed individuals and families who reach out to Cure SMA. It's really our goal to ensure that those who reach out to us receive information and support items as soon as possible after contacting us. So whether that be due to a new diagnosis or simply your first time connecting with us, our team provides support, a listening ear, and assists in linking community members to helpful resources and programs. We really want to be a soft place for you or your family member to land when you need support. On a personal note, my family has been fortunate enough to have been at the receiving end of an email from the community support team in 2013, shortly after our family's diagnosis. And as I know many of you have as well. And we hear from many individuals and families about the overwhelming sense of relief they feel when they are connected to an organization and a community that is knowledgeable about life with SMA. So we just want to provide that supportive feeling to everyone who reaches out to us. Our community support team specifically is responsible for creating, physically building, and shipping all support items included in the specialized care packages that have been created. And additionally, our department plans and implements the annual SMA conference, all of our Summit of Strength events, as well as all programs and resources that you will learn about today. So to start us off, I will be providing information on all of our programs offered through the Community Support Department, starting with our information packets, care packages, teen and adult packages, and other physical equipment and items we provide to community members. Do note that on each slide, there is information on how to access the resource or program I'm discussing so that you can request items that will be helpful to you or your family. And this resource fair is also being recorded and will be housed on our YouTube channel for you to reference back. So don't feel like you need to write down a ton of information or take screenshots. All of this information will be available to you. So first, we'll start with our informational packets. Our info packets are one of the primary ways Cure SMA supports all members of the SMA community, and they are available free of charge to anyone who requests them. So the info packet includes our SMA Care Series booklets, which we'll cover later, but those booklets cover a range of topics and information needed to make decisions on treatment and care. These packets also include informational flyers on support programs that are available, timely information on new clinical trials, current research updates, and a whole lot more. We are continually updating our info packets to bring you the most timely and useful information on SMA. And we do customize the information and resources provided in each packet depending on the information that we are given when a person reaches out to us. To name a few examples, we have info packs with additional resources and information for those that are diagnosed pre-symptomatically or through newborn screening, for adults with SMA, for people who have been identified as an SMA carrier, and for healthcare providers. So we really tailor that info packet specific to you and what you are going through and what information will be most helpful to you. The contact information on the screen is to request an info pack. Anyone who reaches out to us will be delivered an unbiased, comprehensive informational packet on SMA right to your door. Next, we'll move on to our care packages. So Cure SMA automatically sends a care package to every newly diagnosed family who contacts us with information on their child. These care packages are filled with toys and helpful items that have been recommended by other SMA parents. They are customized to each child based on the information we're given on the current age of the child and also the age that they were diagnosed at. So for younger children, not all items in the packages will be age appropriate right away, but they can be used as the child gets older and are meant to serve as ideas on toys and activities that have worked well at different ages and stages based on the recommendation of other SMA families. And the contents of our care packages do change regularly as we get new items that are donated or people in the community reach out and suggest items to us that we should include. So we also offer wagons to every newly diagnosed family. Many families have found these wagons to be helpful for all types of children diagnosed with SMA. To help move around the house or the yard, to take walks, go visit friends and family, and even to get to doctor's offices or other appointments, especially if you're needing to also bring medical equipment along because it can all just go right in the wagon. Makes it really simple. Like the care packages, these are sent brand new as a gift that each family keeps. However, unlike the care packages, wagons are not automatically sent out to families, SMA families, but will be provided if a family contacts us and requests one. And you can request one by emailing our community support email, which is on the screen. So in addition to our care packages for children, Cure SMA also has created packages specifically to support teens and adults living with SMA. So the original support package shown on the screen was launched in 2018 and is one of two packages offered to any teen 13 and over or an adult living with SMA. So the package is filled with helpful items that have been recommended by adults with SMA to gain independence with certain tasks they might not have been able to do on their own. So items such as the Amazon Echo Plus and the eTech City Remote Control Outlet Switch Kit provide home modification options to help make your home more accessible and user-friendly. So anyone 13 plus with a confirmed SMA diagnosis is eligible to request one of these packages by filling out the form found at the link on the screen. Additional information and the direct link to request can also be found on the main community support page of the Cure SMA website. So based on the positive responses we received from the first teen and adult support package, this teen and adult independence assistance package that you see now was launched in May of 2021. This package was created based on feedback from those who received the first support package and is filled with additional helpful items that were not previously sent to teens and adults. And again, anyone age 13 plus with a confirmed SMA diagnosis is eligible to request one of these packages. You just fill out the form at the link listed on the screen or visit the community support page on the Cure SMA website where you will find a direct link to apply. So in addition to our support packages We also offer a range of equipment and some medical devices and tools that I will cover in these next few slides. Throughout our equipment pool, Cure SMA is able to loan necessary medical equipment free of charge to individuals with SMA. On average, we actually send out over 200 items per year. Some of the main items loaned are highlighted on this slide, but our equipment inventory does change often as new equipment is donated and other items are loaned out. So you can reach out to us at the email listed on the screen here. If the specific item that you're looking for is available, then we will ask you to fill out an online waiver. And once that is completed, we will ship you out the item right away. If the item you're looking for is not currently available, but it is something we carry, then you'll be added to a waiting list and contacted as soon as the item becomes available. And if by chance you're looking for an item that isn't available through our equipment closet, we do try to connect with you and brainstorm other ways for you to gain access to the equipment you need, whether that be through insurance or perhaps another equipment closet that is more local to you. Next, we have our medical binders. So we all know that there's a lot to keep track of when it comes to managing medical care. And while digital tools can be very helpful, sometimes just classic pen and paper is the way to go. So this binder can be filled with helpful information to keep at home for caregivers to reference and can also be grabbed quickly in an emergency. So our binder, our medical binder acts as an organizational tool, so you can keep important medical information about yourself or family member all in one location. The binders contain important information about SMA also, so they include all of our SMA Care Series booklets and a list of resources that are specific to the state that you live in. And also included in the binder are 8 colored tab dividers, in addition to a list of suggested topic ideas for customizing your tabs. There's also optional handouts with charts and information that can be filled in, which cover a range of topics from vital information to medications to appointments, specialists, and so on. And they're all really just suggestions to help you get started with the goal that you'll utilize the binder or customize the binder to fit your needs exactly how you have them. These binders are automatically included in each newly diagnosed care package, but can also be requested by any community member who hasn't received one by filling out the link on the screen. So in addition to the medical binder, we also offer the Responder PHR, which stands for Personal Health Record, with a medical alert bracelet to help identify medical needs in case of an emergency. So through this program, a Responder PHR package is provided so medical personnel will have immediate access to your medical records stored online in case you are unable to communicate directly with them. The PHR system also serves as an organizational tool that allows you to store medical information online and gives you the option to share specific information to those that you've given permission. So if the pen and paper medical binder that we just discussed isn't your preference and you prefer something digital to stay organized, this is a great package for you. On the screen, you'll see what is all listed or all included. And those items are a size adjustable medical alert bracelet, a medical alert keychain, 2 engraved acrylic plates, which contain the URL access and also a unique 8-digit member ID number. And these are the plates that are used in the bracelet and the keychain to access your personal health record online. And then you'll also receive two custom acrylic plates, which you can order free of charge to be engraved with specific critical medical information that can be easily read in any emergency without needing online access. And then you'll also get 1 emergency medical card, which can be completed, updated, edited, and printed either online or manually entered. So anyone with a confirmed SMA diagnosis who has not already received one is eligible to request this item. Parents or legal guardians can also request them on behalf of their children under the age of 18. And you can find more information and also a video about this product because there is a lot that comes with it on our website on the main community support page. And then you can also go directly to the link that you see here on this slide. So next we have the Lifeback Home Kit, which is a support program offered to help in a choking emergency. So through this program, a Lifeback Home Kit is provided to any individual with SMA who requests one at no cost. The Lifeback is a non-powered, non-invasive, single-use only airway clearance device developed for resuscitating a victim with an airway obstruction when current choking protocols have been followed without success. It's also a real easy it's easy to use in an obstructive airway emergency, and it's beneficial for those who are, the Heimlich maneuver is not possible to be used on. And as you'll see here, the Martinez family, an SMA family in the community, shared here how their family used the Lifeback to save her son during a choking episode. It never hurts to be prepared. And another word of advice is that when you receive your Lifeback, be sure to open it, read the instructions, practice with it, become familiar with it, and keep it in a place that's easy to reach so that you are familiar and comfortable with it if there is an emergency, instead of scrambling to figure out how to use it at that point when there's so much going on. So in addition to our physical support items that we covered in the previous slides, our team also plans community support events across the US, including our annual SMA conference and our Summit of Strength events. If you haven't been to the annual conference, I sincerely hope after today's webinar that you will consider it and reach out to us if you're facing any challenges in getting there. And if you have been to conference, you could probably give this part of the presentation yourself because you know just how wonderful those 4 days are each year. So our annual conference is the largest SMA conference in the world. It brings together researchers, healthcare professionals, individuals with SMA, and their families. It gives individuals and families the opportunity to learn directly from experienced SMA physicians and network with other individuals and families. And the world's leading experts in SMA are there to get to know you and your family, to learn from you, to learn from one another, and to answer questions that you may have. And the community events also provide a space to network with others who know what life is like with SMA, whether you're affected or have a family member or a loved one with SMA. So here on the screen are just a few of the many, many examples of the learning and connecting that happens throughout the annual conference each year. You'll see a glimpse into the Adults with SMA Lounge. The Clinical Care and Research Conference is on the top left there. A meetup for unaffected siblings of those with SMA. The Children's Program, which provides an exciting, fun, and safe place for children to enjoy while their families are attending sessions. And then right in the middle is one of our group photos at Epcot in Disney World, taken just this last summer. So there truly is no other place like the annual conference. It's the one time of the year when our family, and I know many others, feel like they can just fully exhale, knowing that we're all surrounded by people who understand us and our lives without explanation. It's really the best feeling, and we have some quotes here from families who have attended and individuals who have attended. So our last conference held earlier this year at Disney World, as I mentioned, was our largest to date, with over 3,200 attendees and more than nearly 60 sessions on a wide variety of topics that were of interest to grandparents all the way down to children and everyone in between. There were social events for grandparents, parents, siblings, teens, and adults with SMA, not to mention the Thursday evening meet and greet where all the conference attendees got together, played games, hung out, had dinner, and then either participated in or cheered on those in the researcher wheelchair relay race. Each conference is unique in its location and experiences offered. And we hope this summer we will see you all in Austin, Texas for the 2024 annual SMA conference, which will be taking place from June 6th to June 9th. You will see details on registration for that coming within the next few weeks. So we are incredibly grateful to be able to offer scholarships to the annual conference with the goal of allowing as many SMA families and individuals as possible to attend and experience the benefits of this amazing weekend. So these are the 3 scholarship types that we have to offer, and we will run over what's included in them and give you some more information. First, we have the adults with SMA sponsorship. This covers registration fees for 1 adult with SMA and 1 attendant or aide, as well as a set travel stipend for the 2 attendees and 1 hotel room for 3 nights at the specified conference hotel. Then we also have the first-time attendees scholarship. And this scholarship covers any individual with SMA who has never attended the annual SMA conference previously and their immediate family members. There is a note, or please note that there is a limit on the number of immediate family members that can be included in the scholarship. And then the scholarship covers registration fees for those attendees, as well as 1 hotel for 3 nights at the specified conference hotel venue. And lastly, we have the general scholarship. So this scholarship covers registration fees for attendees. It's for anyone in the SMA community seeking assistance to attend the conference. And also, we want to note that we do have limited scholarships available this year. So once all scholarship funds have been utilized, we can't guarantee that we'll be able to grant all scholarship requests. So please apply early, and we hope to see you there. So next, we will move on to our Summit of Strength program. This program allows us to hold one-day meetings in cities across the U.S. each year. 2024 will actually be our Summit of Strength program's 7th year after 6 successful years of 94 summits held, with almost 200 incredible speakers and over 4,000 attendees. At these one-day events, SMA community members share experiences, get to network with each other, and learn about the latest advances in treatment, care, and support. This is also a free program, which includes breakfast, lunch, and parking for attendees. Speaker presentations are engaging, they're thorough, and they cover a wide variety of topics, from everything that you want to know about service dogs. As you see there, we have a presentation from Jones, a very good service dog, to adaptive recreation, to current updates on clinical trials, to standards of care, and so much more. The program is intended for adults and teens with SMA, parents, grandparents, and caregivers. Children are absolutely welcome to come. However, there's no childcare provided. And even though there's not childcare provided, we do offer coloring books and activity books and fidget toys to hopefully keep everyone entertained during the program. And often kids end up playing with other kids that attend as well. So we're very excited to share that in 2024, the Summit of Strength program will be coming to 15 cities across the US, and we will be holding our 100th Summit of Strength. So keep an eye out on our Facebook page and in your inbox for registration details when we stop by you next. So now that we've gone over some of our programs, we wanted to share some numbers on how many SMA community members are impacted by these programs. As you can see here, a large number of items are sent out each year through these programs. In 2023 alone, as of September, we had sent out over 2,400 items to SMA community members. Those are all built, packaged, and shipped out from our office outside of Chicago. And you can also see the number of families who have attended our annual conference has been growing for many years now too. So we're really grateful to be able to offer all of these programs to all of you. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about our resource guides. So our resource guides have been developed in the last few years, and currently there are 15 guides available with a long list of topics to inspire the creation of more resource guides. These guides can be requested by emailing us at communitysupport@curesma.org, or there's also a link to request the resource guides to be sent directly to you on our website, which you can see here on the screen. You can also find the request form on our infant and child pages on our website, as well as our teen and adult page. So without further ado, let's jump right into the resource guides we have available. So first, we have a list of adaptive equipment that members of the community have recommended as helpful in gaining independence and assisting in at-home physical therapy or just daily activities. This resource guide includes items such as standers, wheelchairs, both manual and power, gait trainers or walkers, sitting supports, adaptive car seats, adaptive strollers, home equipment, and lots more. Next, we have 2 resource guides for making a bathroom more accessible for your needs. So the first is the bathroom accommodations guide, which is for those looking to do a bathroom renovation. So it exists to help you think through what your needs or your loved one's needs are, and how to make adaptations to lighting, vanities, sinks, showers, baths, etc., to make the space as convenient and comfortable as possible to use. And then the second guide is the bathroom equipment list, which provides a wide variety of equipment that you can add to a bathroom to make it more accessible. So you may use these items in a bathroom that's already been renovated just to make it work better for you, or these items may help make a bathroom work that you're not able to renovate just yet, maybe because you're renting or you're just not able to move forward with a big renovation yet. So included in that guide are items such as recommendations on toilet seat risers and toilet seat supports, bath or shower chairs, and also bath and toileting systems. Next, we have our home modifications guide. So this resource guide provides a starting place for you as you plan for a home renovation, whether that is to your entire home, a few rooms, or maybe some outdoor spaces, to make it more accessible for you or your loved ones. It has specific information regarding ADA guidelines of ramp construction, doorway size, and other topics you may want to consider, such as lighting, ways to functionalize a kitchen, and includes links to other guides to home modifications available online as well. So we have 2 guides related to driving and accessible vehicles. The first, Accessible Vehicle Options and Considerations, is a guide for anyone looking to purchase a wheelchair accessible vehicle. So this may be helpful for a parent or a caregiver or someone with SMA who's looking to purchase a vehicle they can ride in while someone else drives, as well as someone who will need adaptive features installed to operate their own vehicle, as it covers those too. It highlights important questions to think about before purchasing and the pros and cons of the different vehicle types and ramp entry options available. And then the second resource guide we have here is Becoming Licensed. So this is for individuals with SMA who are looking to become licensed themselves, and outlines the process of driver's education courses and how you can go about becoming licensed and learning to drive with whatever accommodations are best for you. These guides can be sent out together if you're wanting to get a full understanding of becoming licensed and purchasing a vehicle, or you can request just one depending on what information you're looking for. Next is our travel guide, which is one of our most popular guides. It helps to outline topics you'll want to consider before and during any trips you're planning. So it covers topics such as air travel, what questions to ask, and how to prepare depending on what type of transportation you'll be using once you arrive to your destination. It also covers information about TSA Cares, which is an excellent program to utilize if you're traveling by airplane in the US. It also includes considerations for hotels and how to find truly accessible lodging that will fit your needs. And it includes tips and tricks for getting around on your trip so that you can get the most out of your travels. Next, we have 2 guides on personal care attendants, or PCAs. So the first guide is on advertising and interviewing PCAs. So it's helpful for anyone who's starting to think about hiring their own PCA and what considerations you may want to take into account as you advertise and meet with potential employees. And the second guide is hiring and maintaining PCAs, which helps you for those next steps, where you're bringing on a PCA and helps to prepare you for common challenges and issues that may arise while you're utilizing PCAs, and how to maintain a healthy, helpful relationship with those providing you or your loved one with care. So our surgery hospital stay and recovery guide came to be as we often speak with families and individuals who are preparing for an upcoming surgery and are just trying to be as ready as possible. There's a long list of links to items that have helped others with preparing to stay inpatient for several days or weeks, and also recovering at home. And the guide also discusses ways to care for your mental health and your emotional health before surgery, while you're in the hospital recovering, and when you get back home. We know that your mental health is just as important as your physical health, and they have an impact on one another. So we want to address that side of your health as well. So we also have a curated list of children's book recommendations. We were hearing often from families who want to either help their communities, their schools, their families become more inclusive, or just have open the door to some good conversations around differences and how to embrace those differences that we all have. So with that in mind, we started collecting feedback and reading lots of books, and created this children's book list as a resource. It can be provided to anyone who's looking to share more diverse literature with children in their lives, to serve as a starting point or continuing on of a discussion about the differences that make us each who we are. You should note that all of the books are not on the list are not do not have a specific physical disability focus. So they span across a variety of disabilities and topics to help you talk to the little ones in your life about the importance of valuing all abilities and differences. And I've also found that if you have a young child who has a disability and is maybe feeling left out or excluded, or is just struggling with it in any way, that reading books on the topic is a great way to open up conversation and just support them as they're working through that. Next, we have our Educator's Guide to SMA. So this guide is just what it sounds like. It's for educators or administrators who are supporting a student with SMA. So it's a great guide to provide either to a new school team, or if your child is entering a school setting for the first time. It summarizes SMA and how it may impact a student. So it is meant to be general and really to serve as a starting off point for you to continue to have more discussions with your child's team about the best ways to support them based on their needs. And then going along with that, we also have the school letter guide. So many families have written their own versions of a school letter, or a letter to share with a child's classmates and their families about SMA and how it might impact your child. So not everyone chooses to write a letter such as this, but should you choose to, this template gives you a sample and a starting point so you don't have to start from scratch. The goal of the school letter is to help others in your school community know how to support your child in their school years. It also helps people know how to reach out to you should they have questions, or maybe want to invite your child to a birthday party and make sure that it is accessible and it'll work for your child, things like that. On a personal note, I recall getting an email from a student's parent in my daughter's kindergarten class when we sent out a letter like this. the parent had reached out and shared that their child had some complex medical needs as well, and just offered support. And it was such a nice way to start that friendship. And we have continued over the years to be a support to each other's families throughout our children's school years. So it can be a nice tool if you're looking for a way to start that conversation with your school or your child's class. Next, we have a guide that, along the same lines, serves to be a support to families and individuals who have children in their lives that perhaps they've never met another person with a disability, or maybe they didn't know they had met someone with a disability. We know that children are insightful and they're full of questions. And so this guide is really just to help families and people navigate those questions that may arise, and have some open, honest conversations with the goal of teaching everyone that differences and disability is just another part of life. We also have our protected savings option comparison chart. So this guide allows for adults and caregivers to weigh out the various protected savings options that exist to help ensure financial stability. It really is meant to be a starting off point as you begin financial planning to ensure that benefits such as personal care and others are not impacted by income or assets. And then would also like to highlight 2 resource guides that are currently in process and will be available soon. The first is the Adaptive Recreation Guide, which will provide national resources that can help you connect to adaptive recreation options in your state. And then the College Scholarships and Financial Aid Guide will help you to understand the best ways to fund post-secondary school, apply for scholarships. We get that question often, and we love that students with SMA are heading off to college or doing their next plan of action after high school. And so we would love to put a resource guide together for that. We are always looking for the best ways to support our community. So if you have a recommendation for a guide to be created, please reach out to us. If there's something you have always thought would be really helpful for you, or a question you see asked often that we haven't provided some support and direction for, please reach out to us at communitysupport@curesma.org so we can add that to our list. So next we'll move on to the Cure SMA publications that we have, which are all available on our website. These first few slides will go over our Cure Series booklets. So these cover a range of topics on SMA and are meant to provide you with information needed to make decisions about treatment and care. Each booklet is written by SMA experts to ensure that the quality and accuracy of the information is top-notch. We are excited to say that many of these booklets are also available in up to 12 different languages. On this slide, you can see 5 of our booklets. The first is Understanding SMA, which covers all the basic information you need to know about SMA, including genetics of the disease, diagnosis, types, daily life, and much more. The Genetics of SMA booklet offers clarity around the genetics of SMA and its diagnosis, helps to navigate those complex conversations, and also provides insight on testing options. Nutrition Basics explores the nutrition principles for someone living with SMA, potential complications, feeding tubes, and so much more. And then we also have a newborn screening diagnosis guide for families, and a separate one for healthcare providers. So these booklets provide a foundation for understanding SMA if you're learning about an SMA diagnosis through newborn screening, which is obviously very different than getting a diagnosis after you're already experiencing symptoms. Additional Care Series booklets that are highlighted on this slide include Caring for Your Emotional and Mental Health, which addresses complex medical and emotional health topics when facing life with a chronic illness like SMA. It covers topics such as anxiety and depression and ways to cope, what is to be expected, and at what point might you want to reach out for additional help. We also have our Considering Drug Combinations booklet, which looks at important considerations when thinking about combination therapy, both now and in the future. And then lastly, on this page, we offer our Choice and Connection to Care booklet, which addresses common insurance-related questions, including guidance on talking to insurers about treatment. And this is our last slide on Care Series booklets. So here we have our booklet on learning about clinical trials, which explains topics such as the clinical trial process and participation, accelerated approval and expanded access. Our community support services booklet outlines many of the resources that we'll go over tonight and support programs, including ongoing national and local programs, ways to stay connected, and lots more. We also have a breathing basics and a musculoskeletal system booklet, which are in the process of being rewritten. If you'd like to receive hard copies of any of our Care Series publications, you can order them online through our website, or feel free to email communitysupport@curesma.org, and we can send you a link to the order form. Additionally, all of our booklets are also available for download on the Cure SMA website at the link on the screen. And that is where you'll also find the booklets translated into various other languages. So, excuse me, new to our publication offerings is our Living Unlimited series. So this series came from the desire to talk about topics related to daily life for you or your loved one with SMA. So our first booklet was geared specifically for parents of newly diagnosed children, as you see here, and includes topics such as mental health and self-care, articles from other parents on coping with and overcoming challenges, advice on sharing an SMA diagnosis with family and friends, how to support your child, as well as any unaffected siblings. And there's also an article with advice from an adult with SMA and lots more. So we really hope that families reading this book will just feel encouraged and reassured that their children can live full, wonderful lives, no matter what physical challenges that they may face. So the second booklet in our Living Unlimited series is for adults with SMA. It covers a wide variety of topics, such as travel, accessing treatment for SMA, also for primary care and preventative care, managing personal care attendance, going to school, work, laws and rights that you should know about, and lots more. The topics covered in the book were ones that were recommended by adults in the SMA community, as well as much of the content provided was also provided by adults in the SMA community. And the entire booklet was reviewed by our Adult Advisory Council to provide feedback and ensure it would be a booklet that all adults with SMA would find useful. And then next up in our Living Unlimited series will be for those diagnosed pre-symptomatically and their families. So we know that this group of families and individuals in our community is growing thanks to newborn screening. And the challenges that this group faces are unique, different than historically when you're getting diagnosed after you're already showing symptoms of SMA. So our goal is that this booklet provides some encouragement to those families as they face challenges and provides kind of a safe space and outlet for those unique experiences to be shared. A place to read a story and say, hey, that's me too. I'm experiencing that too. So we are excited for that to come soon. Another publication we'd like to highlight is Directions. So Directions is our biannual newsletter that supports our community by sharing updates, stories, and experiences from our community members. Families from all over the world and individuals connect with each other through Cure SMA to organize, share information, news, photos, and most importantly, hope. On a personal note, at our house, we love when our copy of Directions arrives in the mail. It's really fun to read through the stories of others in the community and learn how they're doing in school, at work, and whatever other adventures that they are on. We also really love to look through it and see if we can spot any of our friends on the pages too. If you have any photos or an exciting story or a milestone that you'd like to share, please do email those to us at communitysupport@curesma.org. And we'd love to highlight you or your family in a future issue of the Directions newsletter. So we also have a number of virtual programs. The pandemic brought us many new experiences, and whether we wanted to or not, we all got much more comfortable with virtual programs. And those programs have kind of become the gift that keeps on giving, as they've all found a permanent home on our YouTube channel. So you can find entire virtual conferences held in 2020 and 2021 on the site. You can view virtual Summit of Strength presentations and video series on career panels by adults with SMA, a wellness series, and a physical therapy series. You'll also find spotlight stories on SMA community members, awareness and fundraising, event coverage, and videos on how to be an SMA advocate. So if you're looking for a presentation or on a topic specific to SMA or a topic related to daily living with SMA, definitely check out our YouTube page, because there's so much more on that page than I could ever include here. Next, we would really love to highlight our Cure SMA chapters. So we have 36 volunteer-led chapters across the US that provide support and opportunities for individuals and families impacted by SMA to connect at the local level. So chapter leaders provide support for individuals with SMA and their families, whether that be by sharing practical advice or just being someone to listen and have someone nearby who understands kind of what you're facing or what your family is going through. They also work together to organize local fundraising events, including the walk and roll, do-it-yourself, endurance, and special event programs. And then chapter leaders help to keep community members informed of opportunities for local educational events like our Summit of Strength program, as well as advocacy and awareness efforts in which people can get involved. So far this evening, we have primarily outlined we have completely outlined programs offered by community support, but there are other departments at Cure SMA who provide support and services to the SMA community. And we'd love to take some time to, on these last few slides, highlight information from our clinical care and research teams, our advocacy team, and the development team. So first we have our clinical care and research department. This department, amongst many other things, provides our community with Compass, which is an SMA research focused newsletter. It's published periodically to share latest updates in research, clinical care, and clinical trial news. This department also provides the community with keeps an updated SMA drug pipeline, which is actually hot off the presses and is included here on the screen. This pipeline is all up to date and ready for our clinical trials webinar, which is taking place on Thursday this week. So be sure to tune into that and reach out to us if you are having any trouble finding the information to register. Additionally, the clinical care and research teams also invite you to go to the link on this slide. So it's just www.curesma.org/research-study-opportunities, where you can find information on research studies that you might be eligible for or someone in your family may be eligible for. Next, we want to highlight our development department. So many families and individuals, after receiving and kind of adjusting to an SMA diagnosis, feel like they want to help to raise some awareness and raise funds for research and care. So if that's you and you find yourself wanting to channel some of that energy towards those kind of efforts, the development department is absolutely here to support you with that. So on the screen here, we have some of the ways that you can get involved. You could get involved in a local walk and roll event in your area. You could train for a marathon and run with other SMA community members. We also have our DIY fundraising program, which really allows you to get creative and brainstorm some ways that you would like to raise awareness and raise funds for research and care. And then lastly, we also want to let people know about Baking a Difference, which is a program led by our development department. And it invites all future bakers and pastry chefs to help us bake a difference for individuals with SMA. So there are more details available for that on our website, or you can reach out to us at fundraising@curesma.org. But if you have a child or a young person in your life who's getting in the holiday spirit and wants to bake and raise some awareness and funds for Cure SMA, this is an awesome opportunity for them. And then lastly, but certainly not least, is our advocacy department. So the advocacy team has a wide variety of resources for you to hone your advocacy skills and get involved in policymaking. So on our YouTube channel that I had mentioned earlier, you can access a video series on advocacy skills, which teach you things like learning how to reach out to legislators and have conversations with them about topics that are important to you, provide you with background information that's important to those different topics that are important to the Cure SMA community. So you can also sign up to be an SMA advocate by scanning the QR code that is on the left side of the screen. And if you're already signed up to be an SMA advocate, you can scan the QR code on the right side of the screen, and that will bring you to a list of all of our calls to action that will walk you through reaching out to your legislators about policy topics that are important to the SMA community. So check those things out and be sure to raise your voice and be heard. So with that, I want to thank you all again for spending the evening with us and learning more about the programs offered through Cure SMA. We are really grateful for your time. And I will now turn it back over to Sarah Kwan from the Community Support Department.
Hi, Danny. Thank you so much. We did get a few questions for you. So we have time for a short Q&A if you'd like to review a few of the questions that came through.
Sure, thank you. Okay, so question number 1 is, how do I communicate that I have a confirmed diagnosis to apply for programs? So please email us at infopack@curesma.org, letting us know you have SMA, and provide us with your name, address, diagnosis date, and physician who diagnosed you so that we can then get information sent out to you. The next question was, will we receive all of these resource guides after the presentation? So the resource guides will not automatically be sent out to you after this presentation, but you can request them through our website, or you can just email community support at communitysupport@curesma.org and let us know which resource guides you'd like, and we will get those to you. The next question is, are there any resource guides for college students? So not specifically, but we do have 2 guides with the focus on the PCAs, which many college students kind of delve into that world once they move out and go to college. And then we have a guide and process on college scholarship and funding guide. And I have been, as we were working on that, I have been thinking that it would be great for us to also include other, just maybe not scholarship specific information, but tips and tricks to going to college, managing college, just transitioning to that part of life. So stay tuned for that and reach out to us if you have any other specific questions. And then the last question, you mentioned state-specific information that is available. What is that information on? So our state resource guides are sent out, as we mentioned, in the newly diagnosed care packages. And then you can also reach out to us and request that guide for your state if you're interested in. It covers basic information in states, which involves Medicaid, applying for Medicaid waiver programs, other insurance programs, and state benefits. And then also delves into educational support and advocacy that you may need, legal support and advocacy that you might be looking forward to, also like adaptive resources, local independent living centers, you name it. It's quite robust, and we're always looking for feedback too. So if you have a resource that you think should be shared with the community, please reach out to us and we will get that added to your state guide. And last question here is, I was told that you do not have items for teenagers. Is that true? You don't have equipment for older children. So we are limited by the size and weight of equipment items that we can ship. However, we do have some items specifically for teens and adults, including a number of manual lightweight adult wheelchairs. So if that's something that we could help you with, please reach out to us at community support at SMA so that we can get that information to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Danny, for this interactive presentation. And thank you again to everyone who was able to join us this evening. When the meeting ends, a survey from Zoom is actually going to appear in your browser, and we would greatly appreciate your feedback. And as Danny said, any ideas that you have on how we can best support you. And you can always reach out to us at communitysupport@curesma.org as well. And finally, we'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Genentech, for their incredible support in making this very first virtual resource fair happen. So thank you again and have a great evening, everyone.